All right, what is up, biggest movers? This is Adam here. I'm here to do the Q&A, guys. Thanks for sending in a lot of questions. There are a lot of great ones in there, and I'm here to answer them. So let's get started. First question: is there definitive science behind use of artificial sweeteners and the impact it has on cravings and/or blood sugar levels? So, great question. I did a little research on this one. There's a study out there by the American Heart Association as well as the American Diabetes Association, and it recently revealed that the use of artificial sweeteners can help combat obesity, metabolic syndrome, um, diabetes, and heart disease. So you need to be careful, though. There are 5 sweeteners, including aspartame, that have no calories, and there's stevia, which is a low-calorie sweetener, that are all approved by the FDA. Those are the only ones, though. So my advice is just use these in moderation. Just be careful. Just because you saved your calories on a no-calorie sweetener or a low-calorie sweetener doesn't mean you can go eat a whole cake or anything like that. So, great question. Next question: what is the best way to rev up a slow metabolism? Is it a combination of diet and exercise? It is a combination of those two things, as well as good sleep, low stress, and a good attitude. So you have to hit the whole spectrum. You can't just do one. You need it all, and you have to fully commit. So, great question there. Next one: what kind of exercise will burn the most calories in a short period of time if you want a quick workout? So this is a great one because quick workouts are what I really like. Sometimes in my busy schedule, I don't have time for a 1-hour workout, and that's okay. So interval training, circuits, those are two great things that you can do. For example, you could do like 20 seconds on, 20 seconds off on the treadmill. You could also do some stations using a variety of bodyweight moves. Let's just say push-ups, squats, planks, burpees, jumping jacks. You could do those 30 seconds on, 30 seconds off. So just quick ones like that. You go high intensity for a short period, followed by low intensity. So that is a great one. Next one, my question is about nutrition. I reference the nutritional Bible quite often, and it's very helpful. I find I struggle when I'm looking up different meals and recipes. I'm unsure whether something is considered good or not. I was wondering if there's a certain diet plan that you think is better than others, like keto or Whole30, Weight Watchers, mainly just to follow some recipes they provide and know what's considered good, or any more tips or tricks about nutrition. So great loaded question there. You want to consider a couple things. I don't like to use the word diet. I think I've said that before. It has die in it, and it just doesn't scream sustainable to me. Okay, I don't want you to try to box yourself in, because one thing, if we box ourselves in to a specific diet that doesn't allow for flexibility, then we're setting ourselves up for failure. So think long term, think sustainability. Whole30 is great because it eliminates the added sugars, but it's very strict. If you want to get some recipes out of there, though, that is a great resource. Also, Weight Watchers, it's helped a lot of people, so it works. So those are some good recipes in there. But my advice when you're looking at foods is really look at added sugars. That's the big thing. So check your nutrition label right on there. Under carbs, you'll see added sugars, and just be careful with that. So also, if it's coming from a box, it's probably not that good. So try to avoid foods that are in a box. Aim for a good protein, fat, and carb mix, and then loading your plate up with veggies is also a great way to lose weight, maintain weight, and fill yourself up so you're not snacking on those bad foods. Okay, so great one. How long must I exercise before I begin burning fat? What is the best type of fat burning exercise? And do you burn more fat working out on an empty stomach or a full stomach? Good question. The fat burning zone, so you'll see that on cardio machines quite a bit. And we kind of get obsessed with the word fat. But the fat burning zone is a zone which is about 50 to 69% of your max heart rate. So that's going to be low to medium intensity exercise. So that could be, walking on a treadmill, jogging, if you're on a stationary bike or elliptical, something like that. But what I want you to do is kind of forget about just worrying about fat burning and instead worry about full calories, okay? So total calories burned. By getting your heart rate up even higher, your body is going to be forced to use carbs as your source of fuel as opposed to fat when it's lower intensity. And with a higher heart rate, more intensity, more calories are burnt in total, and that is more important. So the best type of exercise for that would be some sort of interval training. You can't do intervals every single session just because working at a high intensity is just not sustainable for every single session. So you do need some recovery time, but doing cardio intervals on treadmill, rower, bike, alternating between those higher and lower intensities, as well as some circuit training like we talked about a little bit earlier, with stations with push-ups and squats and lunges and jumps. Those are all great at burning calories, and they're also very efficient. Your last part of the question was, do you burn more fat working out on an empty stomach or a full stomach? There's a lot of debate out there. There's studies that show, fasted cardio is better as opposed to eating before. But try not to overthink that. That's kind of a question that I don't want you to think too hard on. You just got to find something that works best for you. For me, I struggle on an empty stomach, so I have to eat something. Obviously, don't eat a gigantic meal before you work out, but just find something that works best for you, and that's all you really need to worry about. Next question, along the same line as my last question, I was at the store looking to buy yogurt, Greek or regular, fat-free, low-fat, full-fat. Not really sure what is best. So fat-free can be very deceiving because, guys, they have to make up for it in some way. So you really need to look at your nutrition labels and check if it's fat-free, where are those calories coming from? And chances are it's going to be carbs and it's going to be added sugars. So just be conscious of that. Greek yogurt's great. I like Greek yogurt. It has a high protein count, but once again, look at those added sugars. If it has a lot, avoid it. Check your nutrition labels, and your best bet is the plain Greek yogurt. I know it doesn't taste like a whole lot, but you could consider adding some fruit, maybe a little bit of honey or something like that to sweeten it up. Those are some great options. Next, we have, what are good examples of 50-50 protein carb snacks post-workout? And what is a whole protein food? So some great post-workout snacks. I love eating. It's you got to eat, you got to fuel the beast. So whey protein shake. I like whey protein with a piece of fruit, maybe a banana, maybe an apple. Greek yogurt and berries is a good option. Some peanut butter toast. Veggies with hummus. I'm not a big hummus fan, but veggies with hummus is good. Oatmeal with some nuts and berries. Bars, and there's a lot of bars out there, but once again, you got to watch for those added sugars. I like Quest bars. There's also RX bars, which are pretty healthy. Also, another one would be a boiled egg and some fruit. So the list can go on and on, but those are some easy to make ones, which is good. So the second part of your question, what is a whole protein food or a complete protein? All that means is it contains all the essential amino acids, which are the building blocks of protein. Animal proteins are the ones that are considered complete or whole proteins, and that can include, milk, cheese, meat, seafood. Those are some good sources there. So great question. Next, we have, what is your go-to health convenience store / fast food? I often find myself with no packed lunch in a hurry. I have some go-tos, but I was curious to know if there's anything out there you think is good or okay. So my personal go-to, and everyone who knows me, is Chipotle. Okay, Chipotle. I go there, get a burrito bowl, fill it up with beans, rice, protein, usually chicken for me, and veggies, and you can't go wrong there. Can it be unhealthy? Sure, if you're adding, cheese and all the extra stuff. So just be careful there, as well as the chips. Popping into a grocery store is another good option. They have a salad bar. That's a great option. They also have some pre-made snacks available. This could include nuts, cheese, and fruit, or they might have some vegetable, like a mini vegetable tray. So those are some good options. So that is my go-to um, fast food. So great question there. Next, what is a good way to reduce muscle soreness after a workout? So guys, some days you are more sore than others, um, but I want you to take this into account. Soreness is definitely not a way of gauging how effective your workout is. If you're ridiculously sore after every workout, um, you're pushing it a bit too hard. Or maybe you're just working out once a week and just pushing it really hard and you're really sore. Maybe you need to break that up into 3 or 4 days where you're going, doing well, but you're not going, 110 miles an hour in the gym and doing 100 million reps of everything. So that's kind of a recipe for disaster. So general soreness, that's normal after a workout. But some good ways to reduce muscle soreness would be foam rolling. Okay, foam rolling before and after your workout. In the evening, you can sit down, read a book, watch TV, do a little foam rolling. Regular stretching. If you're at a desk all day, you should be doing that anyway. Regular stretches, just standing up, moving around, continuing to move regularly, not sitting for prolonged periods. Sleep. Sleep is our recovery time. If you're not getting adequate sleep, then you're not rejuvenating your body. So, and last would be good nutrition with plenty of water. Okay, you cannot exercise a bad diet. And you need to fuel your body with good foods that are going to help you recover even faster. So soreness, it's inevitable, but use these strategies and things will definitely improve. Next question, should you alternate strength training, then cardio, and so on to rest muscles? So yeah, your muscles need rest, so working the same muscles day after day is not going to be effective. In an ideal world, my favorite sessions include a combination of cardio, combination of full body strength, and some flexibility. However, depending on how you work out, maybe you do split workouts, maybe do upper body one day, lower body the next. That's okay. But you definitely want to not target the same muscles every single day. If you strength train for an hour, say on Monday, it is a good, say, full body strength training. Maybe you take strength training together, the class here at the Y. It's a good idea to at least give it a rest as far as strength training, and then maybe do cardio on your off days. So you got to keep your recovery on point. Don't overload the muscles. Don't overtrain. But alternating strength training and cardio would be fine. Just try not to hit the same muscle groups every single day. Great question. Next, is it best to look for low fat or low sugar when watching my diet? When I buy fat-free items, they seem to be loaded with added sugar. So we kind of touched on this earlier. Added sugar, it's not good. Fat-free can be deceiving. It tricks so many people into thinking it's healthy, which is very unfortunate. There's a lot of these buzzwords that advertisers use, marketers use with their products that make people think it's healthy. A couple others that come to mind, bare naked or I'm drawing a blank, but there's plenty out there, but you really need to check your nutrition label. Low sugar is better, as fats are definitely an essential part of nutrition. You want healthy fats in your regular nutrition. That can include nuts, oils like olive oil, avocados, and salmon. So those are some good examples. Just be careful when fat-free does not automatically mean it's healthy. And neither does organic. Organic doesn't necessarily mean it's healthy. One specific example, that I can think of are peanut butter cups. I forget the brand, but it's an organic peanut butter cup. I think it's Justin's. And if you compare like a Reese's peanut butter cup to Justin's, I mean, they're very similar as far as added sugars. So just because it says organic peanut butter cup does not mean it's healthy. So just keep that in mind. Get a drink of water here. I'm cruising right along. You got to stay hydrated. Next question. Are there any exercises that people do that are not beneficial unless done in combination with another exercise? So, as a general rule of thumb, when it comes to strength training, most of your workout should be made up of some sort of compound move. So, these are multi-joint, multi-muscle group exercises, and that can include squats, lunges, overhead presses, push-ups, rows, planks. What I like to refer to as the big guys, right? They're hitting multiple muscle groups, hitting multiple joints, and they give you more bang for your buck. After you've filled your workout with these, then you can add on the smaller ones, right? Like the isolation exercises. We got bicep curls, we got tricep pushdowns, calf raises, things like that. So think compound for most of it, so your big moves, and then fill that in with your isolation exercise, and you're going to get the best results from that. Next question, I am wondering about lunges. Should you try to go as low as you can or opt for as stable as you can? So I think you guys know lunges are one of my favorite exercises. I think actually, I think they are the best exercise you can do if you want to improve your lower body. Not only do they require stability, but you can't cheat to one side. Okay, so we're working one side at a time. As far as depth, the goal, we're always looking for that 90-90 knee flexion. Okay, 90 degrees on the front knee, 90 degrees on the back. Excuse me. However, for some, that might not be physically possible. Okay, if you've had a knee replacement or some sort of operation, or you just can't put yourself in that position. It's not physically possible. That's okay. So you need to find what range works for you and try to work to 90-90. If stability is a question, try a split squat. That's just a basic stationary lunge where you go down, down and up. And you can hold on to something for assistance, and then you can build up from there. So stability before adding on weight or increasing the challenge. Next, with all the fad diets out there, is there even one that you believe is truly healthy and sustainable for a lifetime? Or is it better to just go with health-conscious eating and moderation in all things? You hit the nail on the head with the second part. That's definitely what I believe. I don't believe in dieting because it's not long-term. Far too often, like I said earlier, we box ourselves in to these specific diets which don't allow a flexibility, and then things come up in life we're not prepared for. Maybe we didn't do our meal prep for the week, or maybe we're away, and you're out of options because you're not being flexible, and then you fall off the train. So and you'll eventually flame out. We don't want that to happen. You need to find out what works best for you, and that's done through trial and error. If there is a specific diet that works for you and sustainable, and you get results and you're healthy, then go for it. But my advice is focus on the big rocks. So you want a mix of protein, carbs, and fats. Don't eat stuff out of a box. Aim for being 80% on, and then give yourself 20% off to allow yourself a little bit of leeway. And this works best, and it allows you to live your life. So that is a great question. Next, what are some ways to mix it up when you've hit a plateau with weight loss? So we all hit a plateau sooner or later, so you got to mix things up. Adding some interval training maybe, progressing certain strength training moves, maybe with a push-up. Say you can do a push-up on the toes. Maybe we elevate those feet to make it a little bit more challenging. Maybe you go up on your weights. Okay, maybe the overhead presses for 20 too easy. Let's go to 25. Or maybe you just try a new class to spice things up. and break out of your funk. So those are some good strategies to break out of that plateau. And I know we're all going to hit it sooner or later. We just keep that in mind. So great question. I am trying to do the couch to 5K. What is the best way to get better at running? So there's a few ways to get better at running. Obviously, there's no secret recipe. If you want to get better at running, you got to run. But my advice is to aim for small goals to increase your distance. If you've never run before or haven't run in a very long time, then going out for a 5-mile run probably isn't the best idea. So a combination to start out, running and walking intervals, where you push the pace for a little while and then you walk or you jog. And then you have some steady state runs, so that's maintaining the same pace for a distance. And those are the two that are your recipe for success. So intervals and steady state runs, a good mix of those. If you're training for a race, if you're training for that 5K, try to reverse engineer your goals. Say you got a 5K in 3 months. So by the end of 3 months, you need to run 3.1 miles. How can we break that down? At the end of 2 months, we need to be able to run 2 miles. At the end of 1 month, we need to be able to run 1 mile. So work your way back, and that's gonna help quite a bit. Another running question: is it better to run landing on your whole foot or on the balls of your feet? So did a little research on this one. There's a few conflicting views when it comes to this, but the best answer is probably midfoot. Landing on your heels can not only cause heel pain, but it would seem to, if you think about running on your heels, wouldn't that stop forward momentum and kind of slow us down? So probably not a great idea. Landing on just the toes, that can lead to shin splints, which are very painful, and it's not a very efficient way to run. So my advice: be light on the feet, cut it down the middle. So try to land in the middle of the foot. Great question. Next one: is it possible to eat too few calories to successfully lose weight? I had a couple of days last week that I did not eat enough calories and the scale did not move as much as I'd hoped. Yes, it is. You need to eat. Your body can slow down if it does not have enough calories. So think about your body as a car. You want to feed it with premium fuel. You don't want to give it the cheap fuel and not change the oil. Okay, take care of your body. Give it good foods. Eat plenty of calories, and good things will happen. And this is the last one. So another one: should you work out right before a weigh-in? Will increasing heart rate raise weight on the scale? So it doesn't really matter. Will there be a small change if you worked out before weighing in? Maybe. But there's a few different factors going into that number on the scale. That can be fluids, it can be hormones, it can be types of foods eaten. Those are just a few. Okay, if you weigh a pound more after your workout, trust me, you did not gain a pound of fat or a pound of muscle after one workout. That would be physically impossible. As for the heart rate when you step on the scale, that also does not matter. So try not to overthink it. Try not to obsess too much about the scale. Think instead about how you feel. Do you have more energy? Do clothes fit better? Are you stronger? Are you faster? Are you sleeping better? Do you feel happier? So those are the better things. Obviously, we want to see those numbers change, but if they will if you continue to do the right things. So think small steps done consistently over time is going to lead to big results. So that's all the questions I have, guys. Thanks for sending those in. That was a great Q&A. I appreciate all of those questions, and remember, if you have any questions, you can feel free to reach out to me. I'd be happy to answer them. And once again, thank you, and great job, Biggest Movers. Thank you.